Book of Heaven, Volume 12, April 7th, 1919. Effects of the Divine Will, Threats of Chastisements. Continuing in my usual state, my sweet Jesus came all tired, in act of asking for my help, and leaning his heart upon mine, he made me feel his pains. Each pain that I felt was capable of giving me death, but Jesus, sustaining me, gave me the strength not to die. Then looking at me, he told me,
"My daughter, patience. In certain days more than ever, your pains are necessary to me, so that the world may not turn all into one flame. Therefore, I want to make you suffer more."
And with a lance that he had in his hand, he ripped my heart open. I suffered very much, but I felt happy, thinking that Jesus was sharing his pains with me and pouring himself out with me. He could spare the peoples the imminent and terrible scourges that will break out. Then, after some hours of intense pains, my lovable Jesus told me,
"My beloved daughter, you suffer very much. Come then into my will to take refreshment, and let us pray together for poor humanity."
I don't know how. I found myself in the immensity of the divine volition, in the arms of Jesus, and he, as though in a low voice, was speaking, and I repeated after him. I will give some idea of what he was saying because it is impossible for me to say everything. I remember that in the will of Jesus, I could see all the thoughts of Jesus, all the good he had done to us with his intelligence, and how all human intelligences received life from his mind. But oh, God, what an abuse they made! How many offenses! And I said, Jesus, I multiply my thoughts in your will to give to each one of your thoughts a kiss of a divine thought, an adoration, a recognition of you, a reparation, a love of divine thoughts, as if another Jesus were doing it. And this in the name of all and for all the human thoughts, past, present, and future. And I intend to compensate even for the intelligences of lost souls. I want that the glory of all creatures be complete, and that no one miss the roll call. And what they do not do, I do in your will, to give you divine and complete glory. Then, looking at me, Jesus was waiting, as if he wanted a reparation to his eyes. And I said, Jesus, I multiply myself in your gazes, so that I too may have as many gazes for as many times as you have gazed upon the creature with love. In your tears, so that I too may cry for all the sins of creatures, to be able to give you, in the name of all, gazes of divine love and divine tears, to give you complete glory and reparation for all the gazes of all creatures. Then, Jesus wanted me to continue the reparations to everything, to his mouth, to his heart, to his desires, etc., multiplying everything in his will such that it would be too long for me to say everything. Therefore, I move forward. Then Jesus added,
"My daughter, as you were doing the acts in my will, many suns were formed between heaven and earth, and I look at the earth through these suns. Otherwise, the earth would be so disgusting to me that I would not be able to look at it. But the earth receives little of these suns, because the darkness that they spread is such that, as it comes up against these suns, they can receive neither all the light nor the heat."
Afterwards, he transported me into the midst of creatures. But who can say what they were doing? I will only say that my Jesus, with sorrowful tone, added,
"What disorder in the world! But this disorder is because of the leaders, both civilian and ecclesiastical. Their self-interested and corrupted lives did not have the strength to correct their subjects. Therefore they closed their eyes over the evils of the members, since they already showed their own evils. And if they did correct them, it was all in a superficial way, because, not having the life of that good within themselves, how could they infuse it in others? And how many times these perverted leaders have placed the evil before the good, to the point that the few good have remained shaken by this acting of the leaders. Therefore, I will have the leaders struck in a special way.
And I, Jesus, spare the leaders of the church. They are already few. If you strike them, the rulers will be lacking." And Jesus,
"Don't you remember that I founded my church with 12 apostles? In the same way, those few who will remain will be enough to reform the world. The enemy is already at their doors. The revolutions are already in the field. The nations will swim in blood. The leaders will be dispersed. Pray, pray, and suffer, so that the enemy may not have the freedom to reduce everything to ruin.
Thank you for being a part of our community here at Divine Will app. If you enjoy listening to Jesus' lessons on how to live in the divine will, please give this video a thumbs up. Your likes help us reach more souls yearning to live in the kingdom of the divine will. We'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections, so drop a comment below. Your insights not only enrich our community, but also inspire others on their spiritual journey. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By joining us, you're helping to spread the news of the kingdom of the divine will, so that together we can bring His kingdom to reign on earth as it is in heaven. In the divine will, always.